running back Jordan Mason as being a under the radar player that is firmly going to enter. Uh, I mean, listen, Jordan Mason has the potential to become a household name amongst 49ers fans. Now, like I said, if you're a diehard, you probably already know who he is. But if you're someone who just checks in every Sunday, you might know who Jordan Mason is. But this year, the 5'11, 233-pound running back heading into his second year, the former undrafted free agent, has an opportunity to really make his presence felt. And we understand that Christian McCaffrey is at the top of the depth chart. You look at what he's able to do, he's probably going into the season as the number one running back in the NFL, and rightfully so, especially in the Kyle Shanahan scheme. But behind Christian McCaffrey, you have Elijah Mitchell, who has shown in the past that he is more than capable and a very talented running back. But with Elijah Mitchell, what comes into concerns is availability. We're still trying to understand how much we are going to get from Elijah Mitchell, and this allows the San Francisco 49ers, Jordan Mason, to potentially enter a big time season for the 49ers. Now, last year, he played in 16 games, had 43 rushes, and during that time, he had 6 yards a carry. He only had one touchdown. He knocked on the door of a couple ones, almost got in there. But one of the things with Jordan Mason, he had 0 receptions. From my time covering training camp last year, one of the things that stood out the most from that time period was his ability to be effective as a pass catcher. We already heard more about it in OTAs from this last period, mandatory minicamp, and everything from this current offseason program, that he's continuing to take those steps forward. And I'm really excited about the talent that Jordan Mason possesses and all the things that he could potentially do. I see you guys in the chat. I see the SDS checking in. Shout out to the Sourdough Squad. And you guys already know that the Jordan Mason hive has been buzzing since last year's training camp. And heading into this year, what we're looking for is snap share opportunity. We're looking for more abilities to get his hands on the ball, because I think you will see this year, especially from training camp, heading into preseason, and then the regular season, that Jordan Mason is for real. Like, and I mean, look at what Jordan Mason has done already. He came in as an undrafted free agent, and he bumped a third round draft pick just the year prior, who the 49ers traded draft capital to go and get in Trey Sermon. He took his roster spot as an undrafted free agent. That speaks to the talent that he possesses. And so with Jordan Mason, he now has the opportunity to keep creeping up the list. I mean, he's already supplanted Ty Davis Price, another third round running back that the 49ers selected, and he now has the opportunity to potentially supplant Elijah Mitchell. Now, Elijah is a really good running back, but we all know health is wealth in the NFL. And if he can't be available, Jordan Mason is a guy who could absolutely step in and take over. I mean, you guys let me know in the chat. I see the SDS checking in. Is Jordan Mason going to take off in 2023? Because in my opinion, I think he is. I think he's going to get those opportunities. I think he's going to get carries on the goal line. I also think, again, like I talked about, he has the ability to be a 3-down running back. He can be used in between the tackles. He's a one cut and go type of running back, but he can also be effective as a pass catcher out of the backfield. You look at all the weapons that the San Francisco 49ers have, you know defenses are going to be keying on Brandon Ayuk, George Kittle, Deebo Samuel, Jawan Jennings. They're going to be looking at these guys, and it's going to give an opportunity for Jordan Mason to even take those steps further. Also, his ability to run between the tackles is so underrated. I am, like I said at the beginning of the show, I don't know how much longer Jordan Mason is going to be under the radar. I think after all of this, he's going to be firmly on the radar, and I'm looking forward to what his season is going to look like. I have him at a projection of about 114 carries because, again, I do believe Elijah Mitchell will still get a lot of touches, but I do think that Mason is going to make it so difficult for Kyle Shanahan to just keep him on the sideline or keep him on special teams. I think that my projection for Jordan Mason is going to get about 114 carries. He's going to run for about 5.1 per clip, which comes out to about 581 yards and 6 touchdowns. I think we're going to have an opportunity to see Jordan Mason score a lot of touchdowns for the San Francisco 49ers, but also, like I added, 34 receptions, 244 yards, and 3 touchdowns through the air. I think this is going to be a good year for Jordan Mason. I really do think he is going to continue to take those strides forward and become a piece on the 49ers offensive line. You guys let me know in the chat below, how many touchdowns do you think that Jordan Mason is going to score in 2023? Because again, like Christian McCaffrey, right? We know CMC, he's him. And he's going to have the potential to break some records, maybe go 1,000 with the San Francisco 49ers, the way Kyle Shanahan uses him. And so, of course, that is why Jordan Mason is at the top of my list of under the radar players. I don't know how much under the radar he's going to be after this season, but I kind of have him at about 9 total touchdowns because I think he'll be used in that specialty role. And again, we don't know Elijah, if he'll be available, if he'll be dinged up. And so that's going to open the door for Jordan Mason to take a big snap share.